good period for your money. Now when I say good period, I don't mean go and invest in New York Stock Exchange. That is for you to do. But good period for money is all that I can tell you, and I will be very correct there. So people have made use of it. And there is nothing superior to this Sarvatobhadri Chakra when it comes to predicting. But how the fivefold this is to be taken, how particularly Swara is to be calculated here, that is the secret. Out of the 4 are easily available. The 5th part, Swara, is kept a secret. So you have to go to some traditional astrologer and find out how to do it.
Could you read out the 5 again, the first 4?
Rashi, Akshar, Nakshatra, Tithi, Swar. The aspects here are again of 3 types. One is the right aspect, the second is the left aspect, and the third is the front aspect. When a planet is in a normal motion, its aspect is left. When it is in a retrograde motion, its aspect is right. When a planet is in accelerated motion, it is left. When it is retrograde, it is right. When it is normal motion, it is front. So now it is a full-time occupation for you. Each day you will have to open the ephemeris and find out the average motion of each planet. Now this is one thing which can be easily fed into a computer. And the computer could tell you each day. These will be the aspects. The computer will have to do both. Calculate the nature of the motion of a planet and show its results on the Sarvatobhadri Chakra. And if you have to do it yourself, you will have to give up all other branches of astrology because it is a full-time occupation. So there are some rich industrial houses in India, particularly in Bombay and Gujarat, who employ astrologers to do only this. Those astrologers full-time do only this work. They are very well paid. There are no other predictions.
Can influences of planets be manipulated?
Pardon?
Can the influences of the planets be influenced by the use of yagas or japa?
Well, to a good extent, yes. But not totally. It is like this. In that astrology destiny wheel of time, I have given the instance of, I have discussed this propitiation of planets. I have given the instance of YS, I have not disclosed the name. I have seen in his horoscope an accident coming. I made him do Mrityunjaya mantra which I have given in this booklet. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pusti Vardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiya Mamritat. This is my standard prescription to everyone in the world. Every morning get up and do it. Make it a regular part of your worship. If you can't do it 27 times or 108 times, get up and do it at least 3 times. And when you are driving the car or going anywhere, keep on doing this. I made him do this. 200 cement bags fell on him. Now 200 cement bags falling upon a man, the man should be crushed to death. All the laborers there in India started shouting. They said the man was killed. But anyway, they went and removed the cement bags one after another and found him breathing. Once they found him breathing, they took him to the hospital, and in the hospital they discovered that he had received only a hairline fracture on the hip bone. So these mantras help you. There is no doubt about it. But it helps those who lead honestly good lives. Let me tell you this. Otherwise what will happen is, most of the people who are talking about yajnas and mantras and tantras, etc., are like people telling you, you can commit any sin, here is a remedy, antibiotic I give to you, all the sins will be washed off, and then you can go back and commit the sins again. It never happens. There is a minimum moral standard you have to maintain even for yajnas to be effective. 1. 2. I am generally not in favor of yajnas because to be able to do yajnas properly, the person who is doing should be a good celibate himself. Make no mistake. In India, we have the best of the pujas done by either Kumari Kanyas, girls below 8 years, or Brahmachari, celibates. The spiritual power in them is intact. Therefore, a Pandit who is very well trained to do it, but who is himself immoral, cannot do it very effectively. The doer should be himself qualified to do it. It's a very difficult condition. In India, we know, for example, I know of one person in a district in UP, Pratapgarh. If he took up Mrityunjay mantra jap for anyone, 5 lakhs. I've seen the worst of patients surviving and not dying. But he is very strict about it. During the time he does it, for 2 months, 3 months, he would not meet anyone. He would lie down on the floor. He would lead a pure celibate life. And all the discipline he has to follow himself. So the precondition for the priest is as important as for the person for whom it is being done. Morality on both sides is necessary.
Well, if the priest is already established in his consciousness, would he then still have to continue to...
I really don't know. Unless I know, I would not say anything. Already establishment can mean advertised well or talked about well. That means nothing to me.
He means higher consciousness.
Pardon?
He means he's an exalted yogi.
If he is an exalted yogi, simple blessings will do. He need not do yajna. Why should an exalted yogi sit down and do all the yajna? He will say, this, that's okay.
We talked about Kshetra Tamsha, and I can't remember exactly the context that you talked about it, but it's commonly the 4th division associated in a lot of the books with wealth. But you don't necessarily agree with that, huh?
You take only what Parashara has given, that's all.
And what did you say?
Parashara says property.
Property.
That's all.
Oh, so that's a type of wealth, but it's a specific...
I gave it yesterday to you by showing in the case of the Supreme Court judge how in the period 1945 to 47 he was uprooted and he had to leave his house and go away. The loss of house.
So what Varga division would you use for wealth? Would you use horas or...
For wealth. Well, hora, actually how it is used no one really knows.
Yeah, that's the only thing I don't know.
But I make use of the Dhani Yogas given in Parashara, which I had discussed in my book Astrology, Destiny, Wheel of Time. They are totally unfading.
So you're not really using Varga divisions much for the wealth. You're looking more at the yogas in the chart.
Yes.
Your school in India, is that very expensive? Can people from the United States go? You want to tell us about that a little bit?
It's not expensive. But if your health is precious, it is over expensive. It is world's 3rd most polluted city. Many Americans asked me. I said, I am not in favor of you are coming to Delhi and joining the school unless you have developed enough immunity against the pollution of Delhi. Delhi, Mexico and Peking. Three of the cities in the world are known as the most polluted ones. I know of many Americans who came to Delhi and fell sick within a week.
Including me.
Right?
You had a whole course, everybody got sick.
Everybody got sick.
Everybody, sick for everybody.
So you come for learning and you fall sick, what do I do? That's my difficulty.
Could you do a school by television here, do videos like this, and have organized courses?
That could be done. That is a better way of doing it.
Yeah.
I think that is better. We could plan the whole thing, or I was thinking of planning something in Rishikesh. You could go to Rishikesh on the banks of the Ganga, pure atmosphere, and we could have a crash course for a month or 2 months. Each day 4 hours course, right?
Let us know.
2 months crash course.
2 months crash course. Then finally at the end the course may be forgotten, only crash may remain. And they would enjoy, they could go to Himalayas also, go up other places and see. So Rishikesh should be a very ideal place. We are thinking about it. This Arsh Vidya Gurukulam, where I made those cassettes, that income, will go to Arsh Vidya Gurukulam and from those cassettes. All my cassettes prepared in USA for astrology, the income will be donated to Arsh Vidya Gurukulam. That's the decision I have conveyed to them. This Arsh Vidya Gurukulam has also an ashram in Rishikesh. I am telling them to initiate one such proposal here. Enroll people right here in the ashram and inform me. I'll organize a team of 5-6 good teachers who can communicate very well in English. We are the only one in Bharati Vidya Bhavan in Delhi who can come and stand up on a stage in USA and teach you. In India, there is no other center from where you can come because all other people have done no researches of their own, let me tell you. And when we invite them to Bharati Vidya Bhavan to come and participate in our seminars, they never turn up. So how do you know? You are talking about Bipin Bihari. I have not seen his face so far. We invited him so often, he never comes. People who have gone to him, they say he doesn't know astrology much except theory. So that doesn't help. That doesn't help. You have to stand up on the stage, deliver. You may be a very good scholar theoretically at home. That does not help the modern man.
Well, I think some of his books are good.
Good. Theoretically good. But in practice, unless a man is able to predict well by applying those principles, going into divisional horoscopes, there are very good scholars in India who are writing very well. But they are theoretical. We are not interested in theoretical aspects of astrology anymore. So, I know most of them do not come at all to participate in a seminar, to do any teaching. So what do you do with them? That's one difficulty. Now, in Bharati Vidya Bhavan, when we teach students, they keep on asking questions. You have to answer the questions. Week after week it happens. So we are like people who are going through that fiery test week after week. So therefore we can go and survive anywhere in the world. You can put me any question, I can answer it straight away. Because I have faced these questions there. We are like seasoned veterans now.
Do you know this Jyotishi Oja?
Yes, Ashutosh Oja. Ashutosh Oja.
Is the one? Is he,
Ashutosh Oja's father, Gopesh Kumar Oja, was a very fine scholar. He wrote very fine books, both in Hindi and English. In Hindi wrote he many good books. And he used to come to my mother when I was a child, and he picked up the South Indian classics from my mother and translated them beautifully into Hindi. But Ashutosh Oja is a better gifted predictor, that's all I know. In 1980-81, when I had seen his horoscope, I had told him, you would go to a foreign country and earn a fortune. He did not accept that prediction at all. Now today, mostly either he is in Australia and USA.
He used to live here quite a bit.
Here, yes.
He's here right now. He has a house.
And he was a good palmist then.
Oh, so he's both that and a good predictor.
And good predictor, better than his father. But knowledge-wise, his father was very superior.
Mr. Rao, can you tell us about your horoscope bank?
Well, my horoscope bank is the largest in the world. I have 50,000 horoscopes with at least 10 events of each noted down. And all accurate horoscopes. As a result, whenever these researches are being produced, people come and ask me and I give them different this thing. Shivraj Sharma also came and noted down so many things. He has acknowledged that in the beginning, the horoscope bank of Mr. K.N. Rao. So I do that. That's always good to do it. Second, you must always have accurate horoscopes. There is one lady in USA bringing out books. What's her name? Rodin. She is doing a good work. But she categorized these horoscopes, someone told me, into three. One, where the data was totally dependable. Second, where the data was taken from some birth certificate or some such thing which may or may not be dependable. Third was a doubtful one. Three categories. But she has done good work. She has made many things available to you.
Where are you going next? I mean, you're going back to India, but then are you going to any other conferences?
From here, I am going to San Rafael.
Where?
San Rafael, San Francisco.
Oh, and when are you going to be there?
I'll be there from the 22nd. I'll be teaching a 3-day course. Then after that I go to San Diego. Now San Rafael 24th to 30th, I think.
You're going to take Thanksgiving at your sister.
Pardon?
You're going to your sister for Thanksgiving.
Yes, I'll first go to my sister and from there I will go to San Rafael. And in San Rafael I'll be taking a course. Oh, you brought it. Thank you. Yes.
Are you going to be in San Diego in February for the Sacred?
No, I will not be able to come in February. I can move out of India only either in June or November. Because I have 500 students there in Delhi. Unless I finish the course, I will not move out. Their priority is first. So when Dennis Harness asked me, I said, if you have in February, I won't come. November 22nd, then November 22nd, Los Angeles, 24th I will reach San Francisco, I will be there till 30th. Then after that I will go to San Diego and I will be there till December 6th. After that, back here, this side, most likely I'll spend 2 days at Boston.
Since I can't get to Delhi,
Pardon?
since I can't come to Delhi, and I feel beginner, like beginner. Which of your books to study?
Vedic astrology without tears, along with cassettes, which Rakesh Sharma has made. Do you have those cassettes? That will be the easiest one for you. Without tears means without any calculations. Because when I came to USA, I found most of the people were afraid of making calculations. So if I ask you to sit down and do the casting manually, you will get bored. So I said, oh, all right, if a ready-made horoscope is given to you cast on a computer, do you know how to interpret it? That is a simple method I taught, Vedic astrology without tears. This has become very popular in USA, along with those cassettes. So he can arrange it for you if you want.
What about Dr. Charak's book, Elements of It?
Very good. Dr. Charak's book Elements is the best book on Vedic astrology now in the world. Very good book.
Dr. Rao, are you doctor?
Anyway, I'm not.
I guess you're a doctor to me.
I talk like a doctor all life.
I'm sure that one of the most important things that people ask you is about profession. And a lot of the direction in a lot of the books and courses are almost confusing. Some people use the Lord Ascendant as the most important, and other people see common houses like you did on that person that was.
Yes, actually in June 1996, Rakesh Sharma wants to plan in Arsh Vidya Gurukulam a course on professions. And I may bring 2 more people from me in Delhi who have done very good work in this area.
It's very complicated, isn't it?
It is not complicated at all. It's very simple. I have evolved a method. So those people are testing it. They will come out. So, well, I hope he announces well in time. So that 96, June.
You gave a course on profession. I have the tapes back in, I think, was it Massachusetts or Pennsylvania?
She had come, that was very brief, one day.
Yeah, but it was pretty good.
Yes.
And you use the Samsha chart?
The Shansha for clinching. Clinching, not the main one.
I didn't quite understand your
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 methods. First method, analysis. Second method, analysis. Third method, synthesis. Like that I'll go on. Then finally I see the Dashansha for confirmation only.
final fine-tune.
Because the Dashansha can be also sometimes misleading. 3 degrees, 3 degrees, 3 degrees. Your Lagna is 3 degrees, 2 minutes. The Dashansha has undergone a change.
There's one whole book on profession by Mr. Rao's student,
Colonel A.K. Gaur.
Colonel Gao.
That's a good book. Mainly dealing with, I am trying to bring him. I have given him a lot of work. If he completes it, I may try to bring Colonel Gaur. So my burden will be less. Then I may bring M.S. Mehta. So you can look into your horoscope and say, well, you have to go abroad, you have to move to some other place for your profession. Your profession will undergo a change. You know, these are becoming very common. Should I stay here? Should I move to another city? Should I move to another country? It's a very common question these days. So migrations and type of jobs outside the country, type of jobs you have on the basis of planetary combination, and the ups and downs taking place in the job, all 3 aspects should be covered. So I told Rakesh I will not do it single-handed. If I do it single-handed, you will not relieve me. I had to do nearly 9 hours of teaching per day, she knows that. 9 hours of teaching for 6 days, that is too much. So I told them next time when I come, I will do 1 hour teaching, I will make you do 2 hour exercise. Then again 1 hour teaching, then 2 hour exercise. So that you are able to work out the exercises, simple exercises. That will be easy for you. I will ask you to come prepared with horoscopes.
One of the common questions that gets asked in this community is about Dharma. People have this idea that Dharma is like your job around here. And it seems to me that in the astrological books, Dharma and profession are 2 separate questions.
Yes.
How do you deal with those 2 separate
Correct. Because the word dharma is used mostly by people initiated here by Mahesh Yogi and perhaps others. I am finding that. Well, he is using as a yogi the word dharma in the real sense in which we use in India. Try to understand. He is using it very correctly. But dharma is not merely profession. Dharma is an all-round duty of yours, part of which is your profession. When you use the word, what is my dharma, you are limiting the meaning by asking me to confine to one narrow area called profession. My dharma, when I come here to teach you, is to teach you properly. Right? That is dharma. When you are a son, your dharma towards your father, your parents. When you are a husband, dharma towards wife. Well, so many things are there. Dharma is an all-round this. So profession is part of it only. So don't take it. When you are using the word dharma, it's a good word you are using. But a good word you are using in a very limited way. Right? What you are trying to do is trying to pack 2 tons of beautiful rose in a small little handbag. Don't do that. Dharma is a beautiful word. So I will not say Maharshi Mahesh Yogi is using it wrongly, but I will definitely say you people have understood it wrongly.
So if
No Indian will misuse it.
Lord Krishna tells Arjuna
It is a dharma to fight.
he's talking about more than just fighting. He's talking about restoring the whole
Yes, correct,
thing to its
correct,
proper
correct.
state. So could we say that Dharma houses are very kind of associated with right action and
Correct.
and,
Right.
and very broad concepts, and profession, which is more of a 10th house thing, is more like what you do to make money or something like that.
Yes, very correct. Camera ready copy.
I think so.
No, don't say think so, because if I give it to him for photostating,
Yeah, no, it is.
Is this something we can get a copy of?
Lee will provide it.
Vishnu Sahasra Namavali, this is the one puja which I get done by people in Delhi who come to me, and this is my major prescription. And Brihat Parashar Hora Shastra contains hundreds of references to this Vishnu Sahasra Nam. It takes more than 1 hour to do it. "1,000 names of Lord Vishnu.
I'm going to take as well.
Tape, yes, I'll prepare a tape. I don't know whether I can do it today, but I'll do it in some other station, perhaps at San Diego, and send it. That will be better.
So the tape and the booklet will be available in that format, like what we have, the Stotra's format. The tape.
So what I am giving you is a total complete scheme based on Parashara astrology. Many people ask me about stones and this and that. In one place I got annoyed when people said, what about stones? I was talking somewhere in USA. They said, what about stones? I pointed out the rocks in front. Towards the rocks in front, I said, lift anyone and put it on your head. Parashara has not prescribed stones. Parashara has not mentioned a word about stones. Phaladipika does not prescribe. Jatak Parija does not describe. It came in the Middle Ages. 1. 2. I have not come across a single Indian astrologer who knows what stones to wear when, on which finger, on which day, in what quantity. So why not do something which has an effect, which doesn't cost you anything except your 20 minutes or 25 minutes. Why can't you give 20 or 25 minutes to God? And anything. I am asking you to spend your time only. 20-25 minutes you give to God every day. Is there anything superior?
Doing what?
Pardon?
Doing what for 20 or 25 minutes?
Yes, stotras. That's why I came prepared with an English transliteration this time. Last time people asked me. I was not prepared. When I went back to India, they said your cassette is available, made by ACVA. But we don't have English transliteration. Then I thought I'd bring one, so I brought it this time for this very reason.
Do you think that using shortened versions of the mantras, such as for me, Chung Chandraya, rather than something more lengthy?
I will not use Bija mantra.
No, why not?
Once you use Bija mantra, you have to follow the do's and don'ts little strictly. And do's and don'ts include a code of conduct and also correct pronunciation when you use Bija mantra. If you don't take Bija mantra, you can do it even lying, sitting, walking, there is no harm.
So pronunciation and meter is not so important.
It is not so important. Do it in a correct spirit, and in course of time you will pick it up correctly. Om Vishwam Vishnurvashatkaro Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat Prabhu Bhutakrit Bhutabhrit Bhavo Bhutatma Bhuta Bhavana Bhutatma Paramatma Cha Muktanam Paramagati Avyayah Purushah Sakshi Kshetragyo Akshara Evacha Yogo Yoga Vidam Neta Pradhana Purusheshwara Narasimha Vapuh Sriman Keshavah Purushottama Sarvah Sharvah Shivah Sthanur Bhuta Nidhiravyaya Sambhavo Bhavano Bharta Prabhavah Prabhurishwara Swayambhu Shambhura Aditya Pushkaraksho Mahaswana Anadinidhano Dhata Vidhata Dhaturuttama. Like that it goes on, beautiful one. 1000 names of Lord Vishnu in the stotra form. Same thing, when you have more time, I make you sit down and do the puja. If everything was ready, perhaps one day I would have called you in the evening and asked you to spend 2 hours with me only doing this. Om Shri Vishwasmai Namah. Om Shri Vishnave Namah. Om Vashatkarai Namah. Om Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat Prabhave Namah. Om Bhutakrite Namah. Om Bhutabhrite Namah. Om Bhavai Namah. 1000 names. Brilliant. It's a very, very powerful word. And very sweet. Even if you commit a mistake, there is no harm. So this is what I wanted to do, but by the time we could correct, it was last night late, last night we could do it, finish it. At about 2 o'clock I think we finished yesterday night, isn't it? So anyway, at San Diego I think I'll get it done. The copies etc. and the tapes I'll get prepared. Then I can send it to you.
I'll send it to Rakesh and he can work on the duplication.
Okay.
You're doing a chart where you have Virgo, Gemini, Sagittarius, or Pisces rising, in which case the benefics own 2 angles. Do you consider that to be a very serious thing? Like a lot of the Jyotish books make a big deal out of the fact that if the benefic owns 2 fingers, it can be bad and again.
Kendradipatya dosh.
Right.
But I don't make too much of it, but that is correct also.
But if one of them owns like the ascendant, then it's not so bad. Let's say you got Gemini rising, Mercury owns the ascendant, so Mercury's not so bad as say Jupiter.
But if Mercury is very badly afflicted, it's bound to be bad.
Because it owns 2 fingers.
Kendradipati dosh has a lot of meaning.
So why would a malefic that owns fingers be better? Just out of curiosity.
It's very simple. When the lord of a Kendra becomes neutral means losing its capacity to do good or to evil. You know malefics do evil, you know benefics do good. When a benefic becomes a lord of a Kendra, when a benefic is not prepared to do benefic act, you are a loser. When a malefic owning a Kendra becomes neutral, a malefic is not doing any damage, you are a gainer. That is the reason. That is why Saturn is such a good benefic for Tula Lagna. As the fourth lord, he becomes neutral. As the fifth lord, he becomes a benefic. For Taurus ascendant, again Saturn is ninth and 10th lord. As the ninth lord, a benefic. As the 10th lord, a neutral. So why is it that Saturn favors these Taurus and Libra ascendant more than others? That is the reason. So those principles of Parashara are extraordinary. How they got it, God knows, but it gives you tremendous results. Absolutely tremendous, unbelievably great results. If those basic principles are forgotten, then interpretation of Vinchotri Dasha will be wrong.
But if you have something like, let's say, Libra rising, and you have like Saturn owning the fourth and fifth house, and it's, say, debilitated, does that really cut down?
No. If Libra rising and Saturn in the fourth and fifth house cannot be debilitated, it can be debilitated in the seventh house.
Well, I'm saying that.
Right. Now, in the seventh house, what are the results of debilitation? This is described in different books. In my Astrology Without Tears also, I have given an example of a lady with the Saturn in the seventh house, debilitated, and she had extraordinary wealth and so many other qualities. So it is not that debilitated planets are always bad. The word you use in USA, in Western astrology, fallen, somehow that always hurts me. Why do you say fallen? Well, a debilitated planet also has its virtue. It's a question of balancing.
So do you feel that if it goes retrograde, that's enough in itself to completely reverse
Not totally reversal, but some unexpected element enters into it. Retrograde means it is not in a normal mood, that's all.
And it's stationary very much.
Pardon?
It's stationary.
Yes, stationary also means about to change the mood. Stationary means about to change the mood, that's all.
Isn't that very powerful? Or?
Yes, it is powerful.
Then it was said that usually Rahu and Ketu retrograde, but sometimes when they are in direct motion, it's
Yes, but anyway, it gives the retrograde result only.
not beneficial.
No.
It's not.
Rahu and Ketu are not planets, they are two imaginary points. But look at the brilliance of astrology. And think of those great rishis who discovered it. That only shows why astrology has a yogic origin. Rahu and Ketu alone are enough to prove that astrology has to have a yogic origin through the extraordinary supernormal powers of great men.
Could we say concerning Rahu and Ketu and the other upagrahas that because they don't exist on the physical level, therefore they rule the astral plane of existence?
I have made a mention of it in my book Astrology and Karma. The prarabdha of the past birth allotted and the sanskaras of many previous birth arising, they can be explained only with the help of upagrahas. But upagraha, lot of research is to be done. In 1992, I did produce a long paper of 20 pages on upagrahas. Wanted others to follow it up, no one did it. I presented that paper in a conference. But as I told you, in India, except in Bharati Vidya Bhavan where we teach, there is no academic atmosphere anywhere. And most of the so-called well-known astrologists are those who have never come and presented a single paper in our seminars or even allowed their own theories to be tested. And we don't accept unless it is tested. Because astrology can be very misleading, particularly if it is so complex as astrology of India. then everything should be put to a severe test.
Have you ever tested Krishnamurti's refinement on the iron outcome for 5 minutes and 30 seconds?
It is not actually, I will say, refinement, it is a slight change to Lahiri. It's okay. That is working. More or less it is working. I have no objection to Krishnamurti Ayana. I have seen people doing very good predictions on that. I have seen that.
A lot of people in our group are using it and getting good results.
Pardon?
A lot of people in our group are using it and getting good results. Fine tunes pretty well. It's only 5 minutes and 30 seconds. It's a very slight correction.
Anyway, before I conclude, I'll only tell you one parting advice. Keep a notebook outside your computer. Note down the horoscopes. Note down the event and keep observing them. If you have 3 or 4 or 5 notebooks like this, if you are examining anything, you can keep one here, one here, one here, one here, one here, and see simultaneously, which you can never see in a computer. All my researches which I do are only like this. Sit on the floor, spread 8 or 10 notebooks and open them. At a glance you see all of them, which no computer in the world can ever do. Even if you have a cinema-like computer, big cinema-like screen, you'll have to project how many horoscopes on that to be able to see simultaneously. So it is better to keep a notebook and note down as many events as you possibly can, and as close and accurate a date as you can have. There is no better way of doing astrology than noting down these details and ruminating over it. See why this happened at this time, why it happened at this period. That is a very practical method of picking up astrology. You can keep on reading books after books. It will give you only constipation, nothing more. Because one man talks about this, the other man talks about this, no one illustrates. A book without illustration is a book you must reject straight away. A man who has no ability to illustrate has obviously no understanding. So what is happening in India is they are writing books, a book of 200 pages with only 4 illustrations, meaningless. You see this book of Shivraj Sharma Rahu, book of 120 pages, 100 illustrations. 77 horoscopes and 23 divisional horoscopes. So we have got a rich data bank in India with us. So we can always illustrate. We test it, we illustrate. And that must be done in modern age. There is no shortcut. Those who think they have learned some formula here and there by picking up something from a book, that doesn't help. And it is very easy. Each day you see 2-3 horoscopes like this and note them down. Over a period of 3, 4, 5 months, you have got a good data bank with you. 1 or 2 horoscopes per day, 30 or 60 horoscopes per month. At the end of 3 months, you have 100 good horoscopes. At the end of 1 year, 100, 200, 300, 400, depending upon how many people come to you.
I've been collecting horoscopes for several years now, and I noticed that so many of them, over half, have their moon in my rising sign. It's amazing to me. It's like I run them off and I go, yep, sure enough, and now it's just like I just expect it. You know, there's the moon sitting in Capricorn, you know, and here you are sitting next to me.
Then you do one thing, you forget your horoscope for some days.
Sir?
You forget your horoscope for some days.
I can't. But it's interesting.
Yes, it can be.
To look for patterns. To look for the patterns.
Do you find that the seventh house of people who were born in India looks better than our seventh house? Why? How do you explain marriages in India so much more successful than the United States in terms of them staying together?
If we, first of all, Desh Kal Patra, Uha Poha Patu. You see, Parashar has used. Try to understand. It's a good question you asked me. I'll answer it. I was typing out a small piece, Astrology and Yoga, because a lady in San Rafael wants it. She had talked to me. I said I'll bring it. So I'm covering that very subject. An astrologer has to have certain basic qualifications. What Parashara has said is what you cannot afford to forget. Ganiteshu pravino yah. He who is good in mathematical skill, which means casting. If you give me a computer cast horoscope and there is any mistake, I should be able to catch it. Shabda Shastre Kritasramaha. Now this, according to me, because they all give a very wrong translation, according to me the meaning is this. I tried to find out the implied literal secret meaning of the shlokas and apply it to modern context. Right? Shabda Shastre Kritasrama. He who has worked hard in understanding the meaning of this.